Here we are down at the creek, kind of scoping around, looking for somewhere. I want to dig a little bit, do a couple test samples, hopefully find some shiny. I was able to park real close to here, so that's always good. Don't have to carry tools and all that too far. The one thing that drives me crazy about this super public location is people want to build dams like this everywhere. The problem with that is it messes with the flow of the water. And then look at this. People just sitting here all day and there's just silt everywhere from people's nasty ass. Look at, it's nasty, dude. I mean, I get why they do it, because it's hot and they want like a little swimming pool, but here we go, we got some people walking up. They want a little swimming pool, but it's not good for the environment. The water's got to naturally filter all this shit.
No, 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 no.
Alright, got my first little half bucket done. Testing right there. My sluice is raging. I might have to mess with it a little bit, but this is a prototype, so curious to see how it runs. Got about half bucket, quarter inch classified. This stuff is thick. It does look pretty sandy, but there was a lot of gravel. A lot of gravel that I classified out, so a lot of this stuff right here. Let's see how we do. Little mini waterfall right here. New spots going. Seems like it's a little fast, but I kind of like how the material is coming apart. This is all rocks that are left right here. So under there I got some normal little black mat. Over here under this chicken wire is some aggressive, or some basically a floor mat out of a car, and it had really aggressive ripples, so I'm giving that a try. I know I need to put a what's it called on here, but just a little prototype I got going for a built-in classifier that's also easy to take apart. This just flips up, and this is holding down this stuff. So it is a little heavy because I just used mild steel to build it, but again, just a prototype. I think it's cleaning up pretty okay speed right here. The rocks are building up. So, I don't know. I might take this off and run in some slower water. See stuff flowing out right here, but there's a lot of stuff being held in here as well. So I'm curious what's under here. Got that much of a bucket left. When I get down to the bottom, I will pan that, and then I'll check to see how I did on this bucket. I think I'm digging in a good spot, so we'll see. Check back. First spot was no good. Went back to the truck and put the sluice down in the big shovel. I'm going to just stick with the little guy. The Harbor Freight Special and panning, because we're not mining yet. We're prospecting. And I wasn't a fan of that spot because there were some people that parked right next to me right after I got there. And then about 5 minutes later, another group right above me in the creek, and they just kept like encroaching. I don't really care if people were on the creek too, but like, I want a little bit of space, dude. I don't want to hear your kid crying when I'm trying to come to the creek to relax and decompress from the week and whatnot, you know? I'm not trying to sound like a dick, but do want some relaxing time. We got dams everywhere. Zoom out a little bit. At least glad to be down on the creek. I did about 3/4 of a bucket, and I did see one or two tiny little specks, micros. So I would have to dug down quite a bit at that spot. So I just decided to move. So I didn't want to go that hard, and I didn't like that spot that much anyways. It was just close to the truck, but I need to not be lazy and hike a little bit. Alright, so doing some testing at another spot. It's very hard to see, but in that water drop right there, there's a tiny little fly poop. I'm on 3x zoom trying to hold it steady, but you could see just a little guy. So I might try that spot a little more. Doesn't look too promising, but at least found something. Alright, second little pan from the same area. We'll see if we could get in there. I think that's what, 3 or 4 little shinies. Kind of hard, camera doesn't want to focus. Couple little guys right there, dude. Not too bad. So we'll keep messing around right there. This part of the bank is already kind of eroding, so wanted to do a sample in here because I saw some dark sand, what looked like some clay. So we'll try a little bit more in that area and see what we get. Alright, here we are. We're on like pan 4 or 5 from that spot. Couple more little guys right there. Kind of hard to see. They're real tiny. But at least didn't get skunked today. Probably got about 10 of those little dudes, which ain't the best, but I mean, it adds up eventually. I know I just need a sluice box, kind of like in this spot right here. I'll even that out so it doesn't look like a pit, put some rocks in there and whatnot. But yeah, I think if I get a sluice box right here, probably dig in some of this gravel right here, because I'm hitting a little bit of clay in there. So there might be some kind of fault. Oh, scared me. How you doing, man? Alright, so I'm gonna do one more quick pan. Just found that little dude right there. That's the biggest one we found today. Again, nothing special, and definitely is tiny, but gold's getting bigger. I saw a couple other little dudes in there. Might run that around one more time after I snuffer that up, and then I'll probably do one more pan. The little park ranger dude snuck up on me as well and just told me that I had to be out of this public use area by 4. So I'll probably do 1 or 2 more pans, dry off my stuff, throw it all in the bag. I did park really close. You can almost see my truck right on the other side of that. Oh, you see the little bit of white right there? So my truck is close. I could be out of here quick, but not going to be leaving at 3:55, you know what I mean? So just snuff that little dude up. I'll often note this spot right here. Little itty bitty dude, better than nothing. Some shiny in the pan. Hell yeah. Alright, hopefully my phone doesn't fall. I have it sitting between 2 branches right now. Like kind of wedged in here. Look at teeter-tottering. I don't have my tripod with me. I wanted to do a couple, or at least one little speed pan. I got 3:35. I need to be out of here by 4. Found a couple little shinies. One was bigger than the other, so I'm happy about that. I'll definitely note this spot. I might have to come back with some more utensils. But with that being said, let's go and grab this pan. We'll do a quick speed pan, see if I get anything else, and then we're going to pack up and get out of here. So I have been facing the other way. I like to be the flow coming towards me, not directly on my pan, but say I'm panning this way. So we'll see how this goes. Pull out all the big rocks. There is some clay that I'm hitting right now, so probably why I've been finding a little bit of gold. So I'm not digging exactly the best spot, but I have found a couple little things, so we're not getting skunked, which I'm happy about. Right, we got a bunch in there still. Grab some of these big guys. I like to kind of do that plunge because it gets a lot of the dirties out. You can see how this water is kind of like a weird gray tan. It's the color of the clay here. That stuff's dirty. Alright. Already got most of it to the bottom. Pull some of these big guys out. The flies have been driving me absolutely crazy today. But it's okay, we're still having some fun on the creek. A bit creek therapy. I did find 3 different pieces of a bullet. Some kind of bullet. So that was pretty cool. We're just going straight. Speed pan 9000. And yeah, it's gonna get wet. As you can tell, my seat's wet, my shorts are wet. I have been trying to do quick samples today because time is limited. And you can see in the earlier parts of my video the tiny, tiny little specks I found. So you can't say I'm blowing out gold if I'm finding specks that small. If there's any kind of picker, poker, they're definitely staying there if those microscopics stay in there. Getting down to it. For good habit, I usually do only 2 or 3 in an ounce and then reset. When I say reset, I want that gold right here at the butt crack of that pan. That's a cool green rock. Look how green that is. Alright. Keep it moving. Boom, boom, boom! The time is running out. That was a little more than I usually do. That too. Still gonna reset. Just trying to blast through this. I've had my feet in the water for probably about 3 hours now or so, and they are starting to get cold. Go and reset. Nice and gentle. I prefer using 2 hands because I could rest my arms on my legs, all relaxed like this, and it's barely any effort. And I feel like that's how I have the best control when I'm panning. Alright, let's grab that one big rock out. Let's reset that down. Pour some of the water out. And now we're going to do the old swirly. Not seeing any on this one. It's always the last pan. You don't get nothing on, and it makes you want to do more. But it's 3:40, I need to get out of here. We'll go a little slower. We'll do the waves on the beach. Just back and forth. Slowly pull that away. that a butterfly? Good luck. The old taparoo. Alright. Last pan, no bueno. I was weak. Still had fun, got to get out in nature. Till next time. Peace, peace, peace.